DC has controversy. Ride the controversy wave. Ayo, aka Patters. Thank you for coming in to How DC Comics Can Save the Comic Industry, Part 3. Let me get some of this. That is not water. Alright, if you're new to the channel, I'm Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad, the Eclectic One. This is where we do food reviews, we draw, we talk, we discuss, we get together, we hang out with Dallas. Even though Dallas the cat is not contractually obligated to appear in these videos, he's only appearing in food videos. And a couple videos ago, I did review some amazing, not really, one of them was amazing, Thai Doritos. One of the three styles I tested, the flavors I taste tested were good. But hey, the pepper Thai chicken, the green bag, legit, it's hot. But look. We're talking comic books, we're talking DC. Alright, if you're not familiar with DC Comics, it's right here. DC Comics publishes gods. And by that I mean most of the heroes in DC have the marquee ones have a godlike power. They're not very human. This is kind of why the Dark Knight, why Batman resonates within the lineup, but it's also why he should never be a part of the Justice League. Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, they all have godlike powers. This is what separates DC from Marvel. Marvel is right now in your face. You can say somewhat street, topical, relatable. All those words fit Marvel. DC has parables. They have the characters themselves have a deeper struggle than what we've seen in Marvel. And this is why the base usually gravitates towards one or the other. And this is also why the comic industry is big enough to have dedicated fans for both. Now, the idea would be that comic book industry evolves into a little bit like the NFL, where we just have franchises and like teams, okay? And the market's so big, we can have 32 teams or whatever, okay? We're barely dealing with two companies right now. One's in trouble, one just got into trouble. DC was probably in trouble leading from last year. Potentially money lost from ventures like Justice League, so on and so forth. But that money is separate from what DC Comics is doing. Some people are saying the DC layoffs and the DC... like the DC downsizing of their publishing titles. They're saying all that has to do with Justice League. I don't believe it. That's just not how the books work. There's companies within companies, and some of the companies do this and some of the companies do that, and the entity that's umbrella-ing everything makes decisions and makes calls and says, well, we want to keep this one going, let this one go. That's where they're at with DC Comics. They're allowing DC Comics to have one final run. The last video I got into DC Comics, Funko, and Savage World, and how that property, that idea, can ignite some fans, some of that core, because you have to market to the core. It can get them into the shop, and they'll spend money. Now, do they have to drop pricing? Do they have to do this? Do they have to do that? Yes, comics. $5 for a comic is too expensive. I don't even want to pay it. Another thing that they could potentially do is, if they want to push digital, make those digital issues valuable, meaning there's more content in those digital issues than you would get physically, than you would get as a floppy. Plus out the digital sales, plus out the digital value. Digital comics have zero value right now, and people love reading about the process and knowing about the process. DC 100% could be filling up their digital comics with interviews, sketches, commentary, lost ideas, like those, like thoughts that never got into the page. That would change everything. But we're really talking about DC's ability to do two things. Their characters are built to be multiverse. different iterations, the Dark Knight fighting Jack the Ripper, Superman being raised by Stalin, and having it all somewhat cohesive. Savage World would do that. That's number one. That's marketing to the core. Number two is broadening the reach, broadening the message. DC's on a roll with controversy. They showed Batman's eggplant. Now they have the Second Coming controversy. Regardless of what you might think, how you might lie on those two, DC right now seems to have a little bit of the pulse to get people talking on a viral level. This will bring in people who touched on comics, who recently left, and will recruit new people out of curiosity. That's significant. Marvel is not even close to any controversy. Marvel is trying to ride everything from the movies, and the Captain Marvel book has had 8 different series so far. The Captain Marvel character is a complete disaster when it comes in making that a marquee franchise name and reaching out. They've also done a bad job in keeping people interested in the comics through the movies. You would go see the movies, jump into a comic shop, and none of the characters from the movies would even be in their current form, meaning Thor's a girl, Iron Man's a woman. It's not the same Captain America, it's not the same Hulk, and this essentially would be a turnoff to your core hardcore fan base. Hey Val, what's up, dude? You coming to hang out? Did you just eat? Re-appeal to the core by doing fantastic ideas. DC Savage World. Continue the controversies. They backed away from Batman Damned. They threw the creative crew for that book underneath the bus. They're refusing to reprint the issue. This is a bad practice. They have to get back into bringing these characters on the brink. That is what's going to get everyone talking. The Second Coming seems to be lazy and low-hanging fruit, but it's catching fire. The Second Coming book will draw more people into comics, more people into the store, more people buying the book digitally. They have to push that. Period. They have to ride that wave, and they have to back the people making these books and incentivize them to go further and to be fearless. DC's reaction to Batman Damned did nothing. You cuffed up the people who are bringing attention to the book, who are doing a better job at marketing than your marketing division, than your marketing floor. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. Yeah, so look, before I get going, I just want to be clear. DC has controversy. Ride the controversy wave. I don't care where you lie on the positioning of some of these books. If it comes to political, religion, whatever. The idea is to save the comic industry and to harness the power within. How hard is that? Everyone, I love you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe, comment below, rock and roll, be eclectic. Together we can do this.